I received a message, a very kind, timely, heartfelt message. And I said, thank you. And I said, God bless you. And then as I went down to the kitchen and I thought, I realized that the first segment of that message was the exact same wording of what I heard in my early morning time while speaking to God. And as I was in the kitchen, the word that I received is that a thank you can turn into it is you if we allow God to continue to open our eyes to see the connect. A see can turn into what God said. CSEE, meaning a lot of the things that we're seeing are things that God already said. That message that I saw where I just said thank you was actually a reinforcement of what God already said. And that's how we tap into higher levels of understanding, wisdom, discernment, and vision of what God is already doing. And that's what breaks through the barriers and the challenges and the difficulties of feeling as if He's not speaking. An example that comes to mind is the description of prophecy and the fulfillment of prophecy. Jesus was talked about very often in the Old Testament, very often. One story that always moves me to pieces is when he went to send two people to go get the donkey. That was talked about in Isaiah. And many times the Pharisees and people missed it because they only focused on what they saw. They didn't see the connection to what was said. And in this time, sometimes the tension and the opposition and the blockage is that there's a disconnect between what we see and what was said, when literally what we see is a manifestation of what was said. The Pharisees rejected Jesus consistently, rejected Jesus adamantly, because even though they were well equipped with knowledge of the scripture, they only focused on what they saw. They only focused on what they read. They didn't see the manifestation of such right before us. This is an encouragement onto me as it is onto you that some of what you're seeing is an answered prayer. Some of what you're hearing is what God already said. And He's taking us from what we see to what was said. He's taking us from thank you to it is you. And that's a powerful thing. When our eyes can be open so much so that we realize that what was before us was already spoken and said. And it unlocks higher levels of understanding, greater access to revelations and mysteries that aren't necessarily new, but unfolding and becoming very clear and visible onto us.